Hey, sorry about that. I had a phone call.
No, I'm just in myself. I'm just a little behind. Um, I just so everybody knows. Are we live yet? Yeah. Okay. So just so that everybody knows, I just updated the hockey projection because that starts at 7. I updated that, and then I just had to do my lineups, which I just did, and I'm about 3/4 of the way done with updating the NBA stuff, which should be done literally within like 5 minutes. So just a little bit behind, but we could talk for sure.
Yeah, I think that's all we can do right now as far as the NBA goes. It's pretty straightforward, but it's also what everyone's going to do. So what I would say is let's just say I was max entering tonight. I would probably make a rule, or I would do something to just be overweight every Celtic.
Well, yeah. So let's you buried the lead here. You said that it's obvious what's everybody going to do. What is everybody going to do? What people are showing up today, right now? What's happening?
Fade the first game because there's too many questionables to deal with. Okay. Tyrese Halliburton is questionable.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I mean, obviously LeBron and AD are always questionable, so that's not as big a piece of news. But Anthony Simons is questionable with already Sharp out, so that's a big piece of news. We don't know starting lineups, obviously, from the later games, which we're not going to get by 8 Eastern, but we will get the other information by 8 Eastern. The Halliburton piece is the biggest piece, obviously. And even still, it's not like there's the easiest maneuvering. It's pretty straightforward, Matherin, Nemhart, but like it could be McConnell. You know what I mean? It could be a weird Neesmith game or something. It's just there's so much usage gone with he and Bruce. Bruce Brown's already out. If he were out, and Bruce Brown, Jaws questionable. That's a real thing. I'm trying to think of what other ones were questionable that I was trying to keep an eye on. Oh, Simons is the big one. Simons is the other big one. Brandon Miller, though, too, is like a little bit, okay, well, if he's out, Cody Martin gets more. Not that it's that big of a thing. We don't know who Portland's going to start. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff later in the slate that, at least for me, I'm finding in my, I'm not playing that many lineups tonight, but I'm just wanting to fade the first game, which means it's going to be under-owned. And there's not one specific obvious thing, except for I can just say Jason Tatum without Jaylen Brown at 9,900 and less than 10% owned is just something we haven't seen in like 4 years. You know what I mean? That's probably relevant. Kristaps Porzingis is probably a relevant play. So is Holiday, White. I just don't know which one it is. I just know if I was max multi-entering, I would make sure to be way overweight all of the Boston guys, including Pritchard.
Well, why don't we start with what we know? So Andre Drummond's a good play, and whoever starts, well, I think Diop or whatever his name is from Portland's a good play.
Reith, but yeah, whether or not he starts, yes. But,
whether or not he starts.
But so is Moses Brown,
Moses Brown, I don't think is necessarily a great play if he doesn't start. I mean,
if he doesn't start, for sure.
Right.
But he's most likely going to start.
Oh, you think so?
He started the last game and they won.
No, I know he started the last game.
Usually the coaches are when they win, they don't usually change the starting lineup in the winning games. They will after losses. I don't know. That's just what they usually do. But it doesn't mean Reith won't get more playing time,
Right.
It doesn't really change anything. I wish it was going to be earlier because then maybe some of Reith's ownership, because of perception, would go to Moses Brown because, his projection is sort of middled out. Like he projected like 10x the other night, and now he's projecting, for 10 less fantasy points.
Because what he hasn't done? He doesn't shoot.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot anymore.
I mean, he'll dunk it if they give it to him. I mean, but they don't really run pick and roll with, you know what I mean? Like,
no, he's the difference between when we played him before and now, like they actually have like pieces in place, like,
right.
But without Simons, that goes away. You know what I mean? That's the biggest piece. And then you have the Scoot show. So what I'm doing, my current strategy is delaying in my big buy-ins anyway, delaying past the first game. I'm still debating whether I want to just decide to play like just Tatum or something, and then just let the value figure out. But that means I will play Scoot Henderson in every lineup right now. I think he's a decent play anyway. And if Simons is out, then he's a phenomenal play. So you're playing two from that game, in my opinion, whether it's Henderson and Brown, or Henderson and Reith, or Henderson and Walker, or Walker and Reith, or Walker and Brown. I think there's already going to be two in the late game no matter what for most lineups. I bet you if you built an optimal, that would be the case.
Let me see. I just finished the projections here. I'm going to upload them. Before I do, I just want to look at it on DraftKings. Yeah, I mean, it's still because these other guys are not confirmed yet. Like all these the guys you just mentioned, the Halliburton maybe, like these other guys. But assuming the guys that I know about are the way they are now, it's still Reith and Drummond at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I was expecting the Dallas guys to be a little bit better when Luka got ruled out. But remember, like they're much more healthy aside from those from Luka than they were the last time Luka was out. Last time Luka was out, everybody was out.
Right.
So, but I mean, so Lively still looks like a good play. Exum still looks like a good play. Derrick Jones Jr. still looks like a good play. I
think they get smoked.
Why is Hardy not a good play?
I disagree. I'm with you, and I will just say that I think Hardy is the best tournament play on the slate. He is in basically all of my anything lineups right now. And what I was saying about Boston was because I was starting with what I wasn't doing in my hand builds, but what I would do if I was multi-entering. And that's because of what Boston. But again, I don't need to get that different because I am going to play Jaden Hardy. Blowout angle. There's a million ways this works out in Hardy's favor. The problem is if he starts, then everybody will play him anyway because most people are going to be fading the first game. But right now I'm going to just treat it like I don't care that he's not going to start. I'm going to play him, and that's pretty much that. I actually think you could make like a really weird case for either Lawson or Prosper, but it's probably it's probably the wrong slate because you have some value at center, whether it's Reith or Brown. So Dallas, that's the only piece to me that really stands out for Dallas. Josh Green on a back-to-back. That's the other thing that people are projecting him to play more minutes on a back-to-back after being out with an injury when he's part of your future. I don't see that happening. Now, I've been wrong before, but it's usually right to err on the side of caution with young guys in games that they're most likely going to lose, that they're 10-1 underdogs in. You know what I mean? So that's the way I'm going to approach it. I'm going to play Hardy, and I am going to play the Bulls guys. I know that's not going to be anything special, but I will play White, Drummond, and DeRozan in the same lineup. If Halliburton plays, I think you can run Halliburton back. I also think you don't need a run back. It's just too good of a situation.
How do you know like when you need the run back or not?
It just depends on. So, for example, like this is a huge pace up matchup for the Bulls. So all these Bulls are in better spots than they've been in the whole season because there's no Levine, no Vooch, all that stuff. And you're playing the fastest paced team in the NBA. The reason you don't need to run back, and they play 12 deep. And the one guy who they don't, Halliburton is expensive and maybe a little bit more than you want to pay if you're already paying $8K for multiple Bulls guys. That's the reason why I say it's hard to have a run back. You could try to cram in a Halliburton with all three, but you are cramming at that point. And you're also not like entirely different. Like someone else will have that idea. But if you choose to run back like Matherin, if Halliburton plays, no one's going to do that. Jalen Smith was really good to everyone. No one's going to do that because they're playing DeRozan. The more this slate has like gone on, the more the day's gone on, the less I'm convinced Drummond was like an insanely great play. Now that I feel like he's going to be 50+% owned, I think it would be an interesting fade, but I don't think I can do it.
What about when I just ran my first set of lineups with the new projections? I'm still getting all these Denver guys. What do you think of all those dudes?
They're fine, but
they come in different shapes and sizes. You have like you have like Porter and Murray.
I just don't think it's going to end up being relevant because someone else is going to sit. Like Porter makes sense. He's a good middling play. Jokic is fine, but like I'm not. This is not. There's nothing that says like, oh, you have to play Jokic tonight. You know what I mean? Like with Jamal Murray, his numbers are significantly lower than, you know.
I was more interested in the other guys, discussing the other guys, like the
Peyton Watson,
Justin Holiday, Porter. Yeah. I mean, Pope, Peyton Watson.
Well,
you think those guys are going to drop off?
I think it's logical to assume Justin Holiday would start, but then you look and he'd be like didn't even play like a couple of the other games. So I just don't really know entirely. It's like playing Aaron Holiday too anyway when you play him. So there's nothing great about playing Justin Holiday. Yeah, maybe it's the night he hits 5 threes, but you're certainly not trying to save room for it. Most of that is insignificant to me because I think it's going to be decided at the 5 p.m. games. I just have a feeling somebody's going to be out, you know? So I would rather stay away a little bit from the Portland stuff and then speculate on the Denver stuff and speculate on the Portland stuff. Because if Simons is out, then Henderson, Reith, Walker, all of a sudden you have 3 from that side. Then maybe you can just play Wemby. Maybe you leave enough room to do that. Maybe you play LeBron and maybe you have 5 pieces from the 10 p.m. Eastern games.
I remember. I keep forgetting that also. Listen, it's not the biggest piece in the world, but like you mentioned, the Brandon Miller being questionables in that late game. That's it's useful, right?
Yeah, like you could throw in if you had 6 guys from that game, you could throw in a Caleb Martin if you had to organize a stack, you know. But it really is going to be, you know, unfortunately, it's going to be the waiting game night for the NBA. And it's not like it's going to be trying to figure out what happens at each lock. And the main one is the 8 p.m. Eastern. But then there's the 10 p.m. Eastern, which is huge. And I actually think that the Denver stuff will be lost a little bit. So maybe that's why it's worth talking about. I don't think like on its face at the end of the day, Justin Holiday and Peyton Watson are going to be like good statistical plays compared to the other guys.
I agree.
But I would totally, if you want to tell me you want to play Jamal Murray, I'm absolutely on board. You know,
and Davis Caldwell Pope, he just never seems to be the GPP winner. You know, like on a slate where you have some options. I don't know.
Yeah, Memphis. I think Ja plays for what it's worth because they're on a run and they need to win games. Like with Ja back, they were 6 and 15 without him. They're 4-0 with him back. This is a huge game for them at Denver. I just think if he's capable of playing, he's going to play, unless there's like something they're not telling us. It is a little weird that they're 8.5 point underdogs. I think that's too excessive. And I think that they should be much closer given the circumstance. And it does worry me about my belief that Ja is going to be one who does play. And if Ja doesn't play, you have a weird situation because you have Bane too cheap. That's easy. But again, you need the game to stay close. You have Marcus Smart, who kind of is an awesome play, but kind of dangerous, like who will be chalky. I don't know. It just depends on when the information comes in. The more I looked at every slate, and we played so many slates throughout this time, I realized like it really is like impossible to try to build without understanding this. Like, you know, we hear Halliburton's out, the whole slate completely changes. And you can come up with your if thens and whatever. Oh, but then what if so-and-so's starting? Like out of the blue, Jalen Smith started the other day. You know what I mean? Like, and now he's going to start probably again. But like, if Halliburton's out, what if they want to play all their other small guys and don't want to start? Like, it just, you don't know. You know what I mean? There's so many things that we can't project. It's not like the NBA used to be where there was a continual, then you've got guys getting called up who all of a sudden play 30 minutes. It's just, I don't know. I think you have to shift along with the games on nights like tonight, which is why, again, everyone else is going to do the same and they're going to forget about the first game. And that's why I started off with it with just any of these Boston plays are good plays on their own. I don't have a particular, like Jason Tatum would be the most logical, I guess. And Porzingis, Tatum, White, and Holiday all seem like great plays.
Yeah.
It's hard to want to do it when you have so much you don't know. At the same time, you could still have all that you don't know and play any of those guys. I just didn't find my builds leading me that way. I'm just sort of waiting.
You know what? It reminds me. I mean, it's a different game, a different thing, but it reminds me of that Orlando game the other day, where there were good plays, and some people got a little too greedy in fading that game. You know, me being one of them. You know, I mean, I only played one lineup that day, but when I was thinking about it, you know, I was saying, "Oh, I'm just going to fade that game because it's more important or whatever." But the plays are good enough. I mean, you don't want to like cut off your nose to spite your face. Do you have any opposition in general to playing like Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. in the same lineup?
I think it's like probably not optimal on the game. It's like with this many games, but it certainly is fine.
Okay.
Like there's no problem I have with it. I would be questioning like if you're getting to both of those guys, because I think that there's actually interesting plays on the Memphis side. Because if you're playing both those guys, you kind of want the game to stay close, which basically means, okay, if you're not going to be like Jaw's the obvious one, like who no one's going to play. And I don't exactly know why either. Like I get it. He doesn't quite fit there for me either, but like I think he's actually like a reasonable play. And I thought he'd be like 10% owned. He's not going to be any owned. I think Marcus Smart is the other one in that game, but I don't know. I definitely have some Murray and some Porter, and I ran into builds that were where I was trying to get get one of them, and I just had to pivot because I rebuilt because I did not want to play them together. I'm not saying that's right though. There's absolutely totally a chance they both get 50. I'm just saying. I just was looking for.
It's gotta be hard though with Jokic playing. I mean.
But they've done it.
Two other people to get 50. I mean, like,
but Gordon is out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not impossible. And it happens with Jokic. I mean, I'm telling you, he goes through these stretches. He's in the middle of one right now where he just doesn't. He did at the end of last season, the regular season. He just doesn't care about doing anything except for just setting his team up and playing to his whatever. And they're in fine shape. They're probably not going to win the West. They might. But he's not like going all out every night, like trying to like Luka is right now, Which is why
the other thing is I'm not gonna worry if I get a couple of Bostons. I don't want like two of them or something or anything like that. But if I get one Boston guy in my lineup, I'll keep it.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying is that like again, it's a different multi-entry game than it is another game because I see the ownership on Boston being so ignored. If I was playing a set of lineups versus just a few hand-built ones and like a couple, 5 or 6 hand-built ones, I would definitely just make a priority of getting exposure to some of these Boston guys. And I would go 6 deep with it just because it's the right multi-entry thing to do when they're all getting kind of ignored because everyone's waiting for what we're waiting for. But at the same time, just because you're waiting doesn't mean there's not an appropriate play in the first game. And they're all good plays. Oh, wow. Amari Cooper is inactive this weekend. Oh, tonight?
Amari Cooper. I thought he was playing.
I thought he was too, but Double J just said he's inactive.
Let's confirm all that. And I was listening to another show before here when they said he was playing. So we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
That obviously changes that whole slate.
Yeah.
Let's try another build here.
Yeah, the Heat, you can just take whatever gamble works for you tonight. I think that Hero would be my favorite, followed by Bam and Hawkes. I'm not going to play any of the Heat currently, but I don't mind them as placeholders. Yeah, he's inactive.
Wow. Yep, Cooper out. Yep. So that dude is going to be really popular.
Patrick Tillman.
Yeah.
He should
not to mention Njoku.
Joke. The problem is like
who's the other one? There's
Elijah Moore is the obvious one.
Okay.
The who does well, but he's more like a home run threat though. Like I guess that you put Sauce Gardner split between.
Can Marquise Goodwin can get back into the league?
Yeah, I think he'll actually end up being owned by the end of the
night. Harrison Bryant. I mean, like
I think it's Marquise Goodwin is the one who will. Well, they'll all pop,
Yeah.
It's still, I mean, look, just say it again. Like you just put if it's Tillman, I kind of like him almost less than I did before. Like,
right.
If you're gonna put Sauce Gardner on Cedric Tillman the whole game, I don't know if that's gonna work. It just feels like Flacco will just check down, and I think the running backs.
I don't think he does that.
No, but I think in a game like this, he might have to.
Yeah, like. For all these other, listen, I have not participated in this, but like the last 2 games where you had like these 35-point totals, you had New England against whoever, you had the Raiders against whatever, and both games went off offensively. Like the Raider game was like a 34-point total that scored 100, and all those games people played all the defense, whatever it is. If people get too cute here, I mean, maybe this is the slate where it just pays off. You just play both defenses, leave 5,000 on the table, 10-7, and take the money. I don't know.
I do have both defenses as my big buy-in for football, but again, it might change a little bit now. Well, no, it probably just means I'm going to play instead of a 5-1. I'm probably going to play a 4-2 with Cleveland. I think Cleveland is going to beat the hell out of them. I don't even know how to do it. What's that?
I think the Jets win that.
Why? You always think the Jets are going to win, but you've been right. Honestly, true. I feel like you always come in with a glove, but they're not even your team.
Right? No, not at all. I don't know what to tell you.
Stop. Can you hear me?
Comma, is there something else I?
What is that?
That's the freaking Siri. I've never used it in my life, and it just pops up all the time. No, Miami bench. You're getting way too cute. Like, we don't need to think about Miami bench stuff. I do think that RJ Hampton is like a guy you could use as a placeholder because we don't know how that situation is going to shake out, or Jamal Cain, but I don't know which one it's going to be. Like, you're just sort of poking at holes. They're both interesting, kind of.
Want to do anything with Seth Curry tonight?
Well, it's just that Miami has no. I do think Miami is kind of interesting, like, because they don't have Lowry and they don't have Butler and everything. Obviously, Caleb Martin too, and Josh Richardson. It's just I don't know who the answer is. Like, Hero makes a lot of sense. Maybe that is a good way to do it. Maybe that is the right way to play the slate. Is to play the 10 p.m. games and then just adjust along the way. Because I do think Miami is interesting enough. What's the spread in that game? It's hard to imagine like Golden State being that much of a favorite over anybody. It's only 6? Jesus. Yeah, I'm not.
Bobby, you want to do anything with Seth Curry today?
No, not on back-to-back. That's partly why I like Hardy.
Yeah.
But the weird part is like it's weird to have this strong of a take for a guy who hasn't gotten there in forever and is a legit like DNP CD risk.
Who, Hardy?
It's possible.
Yeah, sure.
I think that there is something to that late idea. I don't even know though that Bam's like what's a smash? Like, who are you playing Bam over? You know what I mean? You playing Bam over Drummond, who's $1,300 cheaper. Even if Bam smashes Bam's all-time games, Drummond still beats those mostly. But I don't mind that. That is a counter to playing Drummond, I guess.
I like the Brzezinski.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure. But what about the Miami side? Like, Miami's the one who's missing everybody.
No, I'm just saying in general.
It is interesting that they're not getting any ownership outside of some Bam.
Yeah, DeRozan and Drummond, I have no problem playing together, obviously.
I think RJ Hampton's going to end up being really popular. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm seeing him with a little projection here.
They don't have that many guards left. Yeah, I think that I'm going to be on the more guys on the later side, but I'm going to wait though. I'm in basketball. I'm just in waiting mode right now. I'm just going to wait till the 8 Eastern games.
Yeah, I'm currently getting to like 10% Seth Curry, whatever. It's not the end of the world.
Kane, Hampton. Oh yeah, Jolly, we talked about that. I think right now I have one of Reith or Brown in all of my lineups. But like, remember also we've got other things we can do. Like, later on, Miami starting lineup is interesting because I'm curious what they're going to do. So let me see what's projected for their starting lineup right now. Hero, Robinson, Hawkes, Highsmith, Bam. It's less interesting than the bench guys. I guess Highsmith, but he's too expensive. No, he's not. Highsmith is even playable at 4,100. They just don't have that many guys. I don't know. I feel like their total fantasy point number doesn't make sense for like a real team. Yeah, Podzimski. think I'm going to slant towards those later games if we don't get any news on the earlier ones. Just because I do think that Miami is kind of interesting. You got Podziemski on the other side, and then you've got the Brandon Miller news, and then one of AD, and then you've got Simons, which decides a ton in Portland. Yeah, there's a lot later in the day. Exum and THJ. I don't like either Exum or THJ. I have 0 of either.
I like Exum, I think.
I'm going off that game. I'm going off that game staying close. I think they're going to get shellacked. I think they're going to lose by 30. And I am going to play Jaden Hardy.
Sounds good to me.
And I think one of Jamal Cain or Halliburton. I'm sorry, or I think it might be Jamal Cain is like the more obvious answer, but I do think Hampton is the other one. I actually think people are playing Hampton more than they are Cain. Saberson has Hampton at 20% ownership.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about it either. But I'm telling you, Miami might only dress like 9 guys tonight and only play 8. Well, let's see. They've got
Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting some of that, is what I'm saying.
They're going to have 10. You've got Jovic and Bryant. Though you got Jovic, Bryant, Hero. I'm sorry, Highsmith and Love and Bam as 5 of those 10. So your guards are
Jamal. Jaquez could be a good play.
Yeah, but he's not a guard either.
Even still.
But here's what I'm saying though: Jamal Cain, Tyler Hero, and what's his name? RJ Hampton are your only guards. Like. Somebody's got to do something. You know what I mean? I don't know who's going to start, but why do they have to start Duncan Robinson? I think they'll bring him off the bench and they'll start one of these guys. And if it was all starting at the same time, the ownership would flock to whoever that is. And I would just say, like, we'll just play the other one then, probably. Yeah, it's starting to feel like there's a little too much right now. I have Porter in my main, but I think that I don't know, man. I really wanted to do something creative, but I feel like with Hardy already in my lineup, I don't really need to do that much else creative. Jamal Cain, if I did that.
Some State Kings up here. Oh, 7:30, not 7.
I play Jamal Cain, Hardy, White, Drummond. All right, so I don't even have much I have to do. I just need to probably like get. Should we talk a little football? I guess really quickly.
I'm not exactly ready yet. I'm just finishing putting my NBA lineups in. It'll just be like a couple of minutes, okay. And then the other thing I have to do is I have to redo everything because Cooper is out. So yeah. I really not too I'm not going to be too much of a help.
I got you. Well, I'll talk through the
minute. Go for it. What do you think?
Second, I'm just gonna get my little earlier notes. So let me get Cooper. Well, I think that the first thing that comes to mind is that it's probably okay to leave a lot of money on the table tonight.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
That's the number one, I guess.
But the question I have is actually, if you're hand building, but if you're running Sabres and whatever, I wouldn't force yourself to leave money on the table. I think that you're going to get to it organically anyway. That's my only.
Probably. I think.
How much is this mid-range?
Is not updated yet. Still, at least as far as maybe they.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait on that for sure. That's going to take a little bit.
They gave Goodwin 1 more point, and they gave Tillman 3 more. That's something.
How much? Oh, are they going to not upgrade Tillman a lot because he's going to be probably with Sauce Gardner's area or whatever?
No, he'll still get upgraded, but it probably won't be like a. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's probably going to be around 8 or 9, maybe a little bit higher. David Bell and Marquise Goodwin are the other potential things.
Yuck. Just yuck.
I think David Bell is probably.
He's the one?
Let's see. Like, I think I would be more likely to go Bell. Just because he's like been playing and he's been on the team, and I don't know. I mean, you certainly don't need the extreme value of Goodwin or either of these guys because there's not a whole lot of guys to spend up for anymore. You've got Wilson, Hall, Flacco, and Njoku basically as the main, and I guess you can throw Conklin in there. Everything else is cheap.
What is why am I going to name Nemhard on FanDuel? I don't want to play him.
You might have to play him if we lose Halberd.
Yeah, well.
Somebody say you guys had Cat playing. I'm asking a question. Did Cat get ruled out in the last few minutes? What is the question, Travis? Because I need to understand that one. That's sometimes the questions scare me more than I can help because it says you guys had Cat playing with a question mark.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Oh, yeah. Towns is okay. Yes. Okay. So Towns being in. Okay. If he was out, that would be a different thing. I thought there was maybe he was out. And now Sabersim is freaking out with basketball projections. Nope. I'm on the wrong day. No, never mind, Sabersim. It's my fault.
FanDuel is getting all kinds of different players.
Yeah. I expect that a little bit. Like, even the position eligibility is so different. Because I think that Reith is like forward eligible too. I'm okay with the no quarterbacks build. It's really hard for me not to play Flacco just because he goes for 1,000,000 yards every game. But yeah, I get the no quarterbacks build. I actually am going to probably just play Flacco, but I get it. No problem with it.
You know what, FanDuel? How about you not prompt me for a freaking code every freaking 2 seconds? That would be very nice. So I'm almost done with the FanDuel, and then I can work on the NFL projections. But I don't think I'm gonna get it done before you have to leave. So I'll just I'd like. Oh, so what is the news on the kickers? There was one guy that might have been a kicker tonight that's not on the player pool or something.
Is that on FanDuel or on DraftKings though?
Both. One of them wouldn't be on FanDuel, one of them wouldn't be on DraftKings. You gotta check that out. And I don't even remember who it was, but there was something. I haven't looked at the showdown slate in like hours, but that was what I remembered is that there was somebody. First of all, we didn't know.
I think so. Riley Patterson is the guy we're assuming is the kicker, right?
I think so. But is Zerline in first of all?
Now I'm really getting confused.
Tell me it's for both teams.
Oh,
there's something going on.
Oh, okay. Zerline's still questionable.
Right. Okay.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I was just looking for Cleveland. I don't know. I assume he's playing right now.
Yeah, so we got to wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be. Excuse me. It's within an hour and a half. No,
but who's the other kicker you want there?
I don't know. It's not that. I think it's not the other kicker. We might have no kicker option for the Jets. I don't think.
Oh, so that just means just don't play the kicker. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just
No, I was trying to figure it out. I was because I was wondering if they may have made a kicker really cheap because they don't do that with quarterbacks, but occasionally it's happened with kickers before. So Detroit is starting. We're back to Kevin Knox.
No thanks.
Are you sure though?
To play, but the fact that Kevin Knox is starting, we're supposed to play him. You're saying?
I mean, when he started before, he was going nuts.
Well, you know what? I'll be lazy. Is he getting a projection or no?
He will in a minute.
Oh, no.
You know what?
She's gonna project for like 20 or something.
Is someone else out or something? No, I don't think anybody's out. Well, are they? Let me see real quick. I mean, look, there's plenty of other stuff to wait on. I don't think we have to do it, but they're probably going to get blown out. He's going to probably start and get the blowout run, and he's 3,500. Ugh. God. So he was projecting. Who's he starting over? I guess Asar probably.
Well, we got to watch for it. We got to see if it's worth
wasting
early spot
because I don't have it.
Let's put 8:15 p.m. State Kings for the football.
Where is that Kevin Knox stuff coming from? Where can somebody have the actual like starting lineup? Dell, can you post the lineup? I can't find that lineup anywhere. I guess I'm sure they must have just announced the Kevin Knox part of it. Why wouldn't they just announce the rest of their lineup?
I'll find it.
I'm looking.
Spy. One entry. Almost on the State Kings. I told you I was just a little bit behind, but
yeah, but just give us the starting lineup, Jolly. Like I don't care about. I understand he's starting. Who's not starting? I'm looking for it. Maybe they just announced he's starting. Yeah, but that's not okay. That's just a. I want to know what actually is happening, not that Kevin Knox is starting. I would like to know who else.
Any projections or anything or no?
Tristan starting, Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Kevin Knox, Bogdanovich, and Duran. So no Thompson. That's what I thought. Thank you, Zane.
Thank you. Let's see if we can't. Let's see what's up here.
God.
So currently, let's see.
I don't think it's gonna. I think he's gonna project for like 18 or 20 or something like that.
Well, they have starters up on Saber Sim, and let's see the projections. They got who do they have?
They don't have it.
What is he, point guard?
No, he's like a power forward.
Power forward. Yeah, they only have 9 points right now, so that's going to change, obviously.
1.
Let's see what anybody else is saying about this business here. NBA.
The Miami guys, maybe. I guess he's ahead of them. I may end up playing him too. So stupid.
Knox. Halliburton in.
Halliburton. Okay, that's good to know.
Okay, so while we're waiting on what's going to come first, I got to get the football. Football, we got time though. Got to worry about this Knox thing.
It's gonna be like 20. I think a little less.
Is that good enough to play him? Maybe. Right?
No, I think it's gonna be like right in between. I don't know. I probably just fade because of
earliness.
I don't know, man. I'm struggling with it myself, so I don't have the answer right at the moment. It's gonna make it easier to play.
Let's see these Browns, what they're doing here. Elijah Moore. Who else is getting upgraded a little bit? David Bell, Jordan Akins, tight end. Harrison Bryant's getting a little something. Cedric Tillman's up to 10. I'm going to wait because there's other sites that'll be behind. And the kicker, so Riley Patterson for the Browns, okay? And for the Jets, let me see. Right now, still showing questionable. Let me see if I can't get info on that. NFL. Brownlee. Cooper. What about, what's his name? Zerline. Let's see.
See, this is what the reason I hate staying on is that I want to answer everybody's questions, but I'm also trying to figure out what to do. And it's hard to go back and forth.
Yeah, I don't see any confirmation on Greg Zerline anywhere.
I don't think it's completely irrelevant though. Like you're either playing Zerline or no one, right?
Well, unless I'm mistaken and the other kicker is in the player pool.
But wouldn't he project for like a fraction of a fantasy point or something?
I don't know. So, Zerline, I have him not even question. He's active. Okay, Zerline is active. All right, so that's solved. That answers that question. Let me see a couple of other sites up what they're getting for Knox. Hold on.
I'm not going to play him. I don't think he might be.
Yeah, no, but it's worth at least examining. This place has. If anybody's over 20, who's going to be over 25? Nobody, right?
No.
These guys have 17. That's probably right.
That seems close enough.
But I'm gonna update this though, just for fun.
I am gonna play him in one lineup, and that's it.
I was about to say plenty of time, but I really don't have plenty of time. This is not that much plenty of time. Like considering I have to upload projections, I'm doing it though.
Let's go.
You know what I'm going to do? Something has to take a back seat. Actually, that's not true. I can get them both done. Yeah, I'll do FanDuel also. I would like SaberSim at least to update. I want just more than one. Let me see. Or did you do anything with these idiots yet? Let's see. Kevin Knox. Let's see what they got. Detroit. Kevin Knox. They have him at like 15. All right, so it doesn't look like it's that big a deal.
Yeah, I agree with
And when you factor in the fact that it's an early game, I think I'm pretty safe to say I'm fading.
Yeah, I put him in one reasonable size buy-in tournament just in case. Bless you.
Thank you.
I don't think the Cleveland New York Jets game is going to be that sloppy, even with a little bit of rain. They might be sloppy because the teams.
Because the teams are bad. I mean, well, the offenses could.
Yeah.
Defenses are good, man. Both those defenses.
They're stacked. Completely.
I think it's possible Flacco has a really bad game.
But even when he had a really bad game, he still threw for like 380 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Like he threw 3 picks.
I don't know if the Jets can literally give that much up against anybody right now.
Maybe. Yeah, especially now.
Without the scoop or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me see. SaberSim have anything on the Knox yet? Let's see. It can't be much, whatever it is.
No, it's going to be about the same.
We're only at 17. Knox, they still have him at 9 just for annoyance.
For lateness.
I mean, I could certainly manually change that.
Yeah. I think somewhere between 18 and 20 is a good, reasonable number. Like, he's probably going to be a lot less, but he's going to get enough 30s to where that it's going to even out.
He's going to get a couple of 30s, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just actually manually change one of these. I'm just going to give him a 17 or something. Just so I have something.
Yeah.
Reset builds.
Well, now they've got him at 30.
Who?
Saberson.
Really?
It's just one of those classic overreaction things, though, I think. It's kind of ridiculous.
I mean,
that's in 26 minutes, too. It's just a mistake. It's just going to take a second. I was thinking about playing him anyway, just because it's a little bit, but it's going to be weird. Everybody in DFS hates him, so he's always going to be like a little bit more lower owned.
It's a blowout too. I mean, like,
but that's what helps him.
But he's starting.
It doesn't matter. I think he plays either way, because I think, I don't know, because they're not going to play Hayes. Or
they really do have him at 30, like it's nothing, right?
It's ridiculous.
They also have him at 0 ownership right now, so they need a
little behind here.
I'm not giving him 30. I'm going to give him a very generous 18.5, I think.
Yeah, I still haven't brought it down yet. Oh my god.
They haven't.
Oh my god. Sheets, do you have any I'm curious, like the Wembanyama, the White, DeRozan, Drummond thing. I don't really. I think White is the lowest owned, and I think he's my favorite because of that. But
I like White.
Yeah, I think that I like them all.
I'm not giving Knox 30. I'll give him for Saber Sims point. I'll give him. How about I give him 20 just to see what would happen? I'll give him 10% ownership maybe.
I think it'll be a little higher.
Well, with a 30-point projection.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's like it's a chicken and the egg there. It's like.
It's just weird they project him like to score more fantasy points than Jalen Duren. Like, okay, why? I guess the blowout.
Can we get a no, not Jaden Ivey. Are these other guys in? Like Killian Hayes? I have him in.
He isn't, I think.
So you get him coming off the bench or Alec Burks?
You want to play?
Why am I doing this? Why am I even thinking about this guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to think about this game.
I can help you. Don't. that's my big solution.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing this. I don't think.
I'll throw one Hauser and Knox lineup in just so I can cover the first game.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he totally can hit, by the way. I know it's weird, but it's totally doable.
Maybe I should put 10% or something.
Yeah, I would. I would. I mean, like, I have a little bit of it. I'm more than just. I have two lineups now with him. Two sets of lineups with him.
Let me see. What is he?
No, here they got him back to normal. He's at 18.5.
Yeah, that's all I'm giving that gentleman.
That seems right. Hey, good job though, Sheets. Like you pretty much nailed where they ended up on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, slate starts at 8. Same for me, Nick. Like, I'm sorry, Neil.
Well, I mean, we got a couple of things going. I think I have a couple of pieces in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think in the big binds, like FanDuel, like Pritchard showing up if you wanted to play there. If you're interested.
Yeah. Pritchard. I mean, like I said, everybody's a decent play, but there's a lot of good plays in this slate.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, just to make sure, I'm going to run a SaberSim build with the new projections, just to make sure I'm not getting like 40% knocks, which I probably won't. I just want to see what I'd be getting. And if I am getting 40% knocks, I'll have to think. But if I'm not getting like a lot of him, I'll probably just don't change anything, honestly. But I wasn't getting any Pistons. So let's just see if I get them. I'm running this now. And then I presume that then it's safe to then go back and look at the NFL projections. They should be updated, I think, by now.
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully across the board. You are going to get like some projections on some weird guys. Oh, so here's the cheapo from that game, by the way. Well, not that you need the cheapo. that's actually an important point. I mean, you don't really need the cheapo, but you got the backup tight end, the holla at your boy, that guy, Kenny Yeboah. He's replaced he's taking the Jeremy Ruckert role.
Oh, okay. There you go. There we go.
In the category of guys you don't need to play.
Guys you don't have to play. Oh man. Sheets, did you find in your builds with basketball that you got is there a lot of bulls or what's happening?
Well, I actually I am. I'm getting like all the DeRozan for openers. A lot of DeRozan.
But not all three together that much?
No. Okay. Not all three together that much.
Kind of trying to figure out why I can't stop doing it.
FanDuel, NFL. All right, so let's see what I'd be getting from this this Piston thing. I'd be getting a grand total of you got to be kidding me.
What is it?
90% knocks at a 17.5 point projection.
Yeah, because they don't do the later stuff too. Yeah. I actually think I get it. I'm not going to sit here and besmirch it.
Why? Why?
Why am I not going to?
Why? No. Why? Why is this? Why did this occur?
I don't know.
What's his ownership? Oh, it's just 37% now. Okay. 37% projected ownership. And I have 5 minutes to figure it out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Probably just going to fade him.
Yeah, I think I'm going to play him in my other stuff, but not in my big one.
Let's choose this.
I just want to throw out that I love Trey Murphy tonight.
Yeah, I was getting some of that.
Yeah, I really, really love the play. And I'm really struggling between Jaquez and what's his name as of right now? Jaquez and Porter. But
Jaquez and Porter Jr.?
Yeah, I think I just stick with mostly with Jaquez, so I can at least have late swap because I'm playing Scoot Henderson and Reith also. So at least it gives me some flexibility if there's any.
Right.
I don't have them very different in general. I have a little bit of Derek White.
Yeah, me too. All right, Cooper. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up.
I'm a tiny bit worried this is going to be a nightmare matchup for Drummond.
You think?
Yeah, because Turner stays on the outside, and so does Jalen Smith. Like, it's a little bit like worrisome. Even though I'm not willing to just fade him, but I am willing to throw a Rudy Gobert or Jonas Valanciunas around him or something like that instead of him. I'll throw Jalen Smith in a couple instead, just to get a little differentiation.
Yeah, I guess I'll play Knox in the MME stuff. I don't know. I don't want to play my big binds though. Just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
So,
and I basically have Hardy locked in. By the way, I don't.
Oh,
really,
I like. See that I like.
I don't really care whether it works or not. This is what I think that I'm gonna do. But like, do I need to fade Knox anymore? Probably not, right?
Right.
Unless they announce Hardy's like starting or something.
I'm getting 20% Hardy.
Okay.
I'm not getting him. I'm getting him. You know what I mean?
Pretty good,
I'm forcing him with the extreme prejudice. I guess I'm gonna get out of here and just. Okay. I don't even know what I'm rooting for with Kevin Knox. I honestly don't. So
gotta go edit all my football lineups. All right. Good luck tonight. Good luck, Sheets.